What is going on, everybody? We are back with another AEW Dynamite review. This is CCW, and I'm Nick.
Nah, I'm Joe.
And we've got a fun little 3-hour collision to talk about, and then we got to do our pick'ems, pick 'em for
Pick 'em.
All Out Toronto. I don't know why I went Hispanic there. I don't know how to go Canadian though,
That's on brand for you.
unless I go eh. What?
There you go.
But yeah, so we're in Canada. I don't remember where in Canada, but it's September to remember.
London, Canada.
We
I
got
believe.
we got Excalibur, Taz, and Bryan Danielson, which is the best commentating team they've had total so far in AEW.
Oh, dude, they sprinkled Tony Schiavone in at some point, and I was confused as hell.
I don't remember ever hearing Tony on commentary.
Oh, he was there at the end.
No, I don't remember him being there.
It confused the hell out of me.
But we start off with an in-ring segment. Speaking of Tony Schiavone, he's here to host a contract signing between Adam Page and Kyle Felcher.
You're remembering to do the Felcher thing, even though you forgot to do the Greaves thing.
Well, to be fair, I jokingly make fun of Kyle Fletcher's name in some way, shape, or form every time we talk about him. And the bad thing is I actually really like Kyle Fletcher, so it's just me being a douche for no reason. As Tony goes to slide the contract to Fletcher, Don Fallis wants to talk. He remembers that when Page took the title from him when he beat Omega, and Fletcher's better than Omega and Page, which is an absolute fallacy. Page says he wants Kyle to do it on his own because he sees potential in Kyle and what he could be. He's 26 and could one day be the one that everyone on the roster looks up to. If anyone interferes in this match, as written in the contract, though, Kyle's going to be stripped of the TNT title. Although I think he specifically meant Don Callis' family, which makes me think that someone else is going to interfere. But I still... Never mind. We'll get there when we do the predictions. Fletcher says that he isn't scared, and these stipulations don't change anything. He's the best to ever step in the ring, and he will fulfill his destiny on Saturday. He says he's better, and AEW will no longer need Page or Omega. Omega? That's a name. Omega. It needs Fletcher. Page says he knows what it's like to be in his shoes right now, but he doesn't know what it will be like the day after. It'll crush him. He says what Kyle does with that feeling is what will define him. But in the coming years, he hopes that he doesn't disappoint him. Kyle said that tonight he promised no physicality, but before the night is over, he will leave him unable to walk out of out of London on his own. And yeah, that is that segment, and then we get a quick little vignette to talk about the match between Darby and Moxley. It was an okay segment. It was not as fun as most normal contract signings go.
Yeah, there was no physicality, and these two are not the best wordsmiths on the roster.
No.
So their promo style and promo skills kind of leave a little bit to be desired. Not a terrible segment by any means. At least there was no dead air like the Punk, AJ, and Becky and Rollins thing from Raw, but I didn't believe a lot of what they said. So did I leave this any more excited about the match? No. I literally looked to my wife, who was watching it with me, and thought it was underwhelming as well. And I go, well, at least the match will probably be good. And she just goes, yeah. She's a diehard Hangman.
Ugh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she loves her some Hangman. He's a fucking horse.
All right. It's good to know that Seabiscuit has some fans.
Well, he wouldn't be the champion if he wasn't.
Go ahead with the match.
First match of the night, we got Jon Moxley versus Roderick Strong. And I do love me some Roddy Strong, but this is probably my least favorite Roddy Strong match. But
listen, he's been in way worse in AEW alone. I'm okay with this.
I just don't like this. I don't like the style of match they wrestled. It was all strikes. It was just strike after strike after strike. I did like that he immediately flew and baseball fucking drop kicked Daniel Garcia,
Right in the
who
face.
was standing ringside. Dude, I didn't see it coming. He just ran and knocked him the hell out. It was great. And then, like I said, it was strike fest. They just continued to strike each other over and over and over. There was a spot on the floor where they were all out on the floor, and Marina Shafir stepped between Roddy and Moxley, which she was laughing the whole time because that's Roddy's wife.
It's a very weird scenario.
It was weird, and she was trying not to break, but she was smiling super heavy.
I had a moment where I forgot that they were married, and I was like, man, one of these guys just need to push this bitch out the way. Like, she gets in the way constantly, and I'm just waiting for someone to pie face her out of the way.
Right.
But then I was like, oh, wait, he's married to her. I don't think if he went home after that there would be a good conversation.
I don't think he's going to be the one to do it, and I don't think he'd stand for anybody else doing it. But Mox uses the distraction to chop him in the throat. They finally get back in the ring. Roddy hits a gut buster. Mox hits a nice pile driver. They do an elbow exchange specifically for me. I think the crowd was even yelling, Joe, Joe, Joe.
I believe so.
Angle slam from Roddy. Out of an attempted bulldog choke from Moxley. That was pretty cool. Another distraction spot where Yuta comes and runs down and grabs Roddy's foot. This distracts Roddy, allowing Mox to hit his double arm DDT, cinch in the bulldog choke for the tap out win by the Moxley. Moxley good.
My favorite, what I could only imagine botch of the night came from this match, and it was when Roddy was up on the top rope to go do a move to Moxley, and I have no clue what it was supposed to be, but it did not turn out however it was supposed to.
I think he was attempting he was going to do an angle slam, but Moxley in his big lumbering ass was kind of out of sorts, and without them completely like redirecting where they were and stuff, they weren't going to be able to do it. So Roddy does this like weird pickup face slam thing when he's on the ground. Usually they just kind of turned it into that, and it looked super sloppy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it looked like he just kind of threw him and was hoping for the best.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what he does on the ground. He just like picks him up in like a backdrop suplex and then just like throws him face first.
Yeah. We get a stupid MJF Mark Briscoe vignette, and then we get one of my favorite things I've seen MJF do in a while. He went and argued with Tony Khan.
I hated this because Tony.
It's the first time I've ever heard Tony Khan actually sound authoritative.
But it's fake, and you know it's fake because it sounds fake, and that's what bothers me. I don't want Tony Khan on screen ever.
That's why he wasn't on screen.
He wasn't technically on screen, but
I said that's why he wasn't on screen.
Yeah, it's just.
But it was funny because he tried to get out of the match, and Tony was like, "Nah, you suck. You're gonna do this match."
Yeah, you did. You did this too. You brought this on yourself. Which I like the character work because
it's like,
MJF kind of did do this to himself, but MJF was also kind of right too because Tony's just changing the rules for his little contract thing.
MJF was like, "It's nice for you to finally stand up and be a boss for once, Tony. I respect that." Fun times. Match 2. Listen, I hate everybody's name. Toa Leona. At least he's not Talatonga though.
He's the tall one. Call him Talatonga.
He's with. He comes out with Bishop Khan and Ricochet versus Bobby Lashley with Shelton Benjamin and MVP. We start with some chain and mat wrestling. Toa Leona starts to get the upper hand. Now this eventually, by the way, guys, just turns into two big guys beating the crap out of each other. Fun times.
This is the match I have the most notes on.
Bobby comes back, catches a big boot for his troubles. Toa hits a Samoan drop on the apron as we go to break. Yep. Coming back from break, Toa's still on top, but Lashley picks Toa up, an electric chair drops him. Which that's a really tall electric chair drop combined.
It looked like it hurt too. That was two big ass dudes taking a big old back bump.
They trade punches just for Joe.
Yeah, I got that on here too. Just for me.
Bobby hits a nice overhead belly to belly.
Mm-hmm.
I almost called it a belly to belly, a Bailey to belly because it's fun to say that. Toa does Lashley's taunt, and Lashley hits him with a flatliner. He goes for the spear, but Toa slides out the ring, so Lashley runs around the ring and does like the run around the ring spear on him. Ricochet tries to stand between them, and MVP whoops his ass.
Whoops his ass.
Tossed him into the guardrail like a rag doll. Benjamin hits Khan with a super kick, and in the ring, Toa hits Lashley with a pounce. Goes for the pin. Lashley kicks out. Lashley gets a full Nelson on Toa, and he passes out. And then afterwards, it turns into a brawl. MVP ended up breaking his cane on Ricochet's back.
They whooped their ass, dude.
It makes me
look weak going into the match.
It makes me wonder if they're not going to win.
Huh?
It makes me wonder if they're not going to win.
It makes me wonder the same thing.
But I said it was a slow meat match that I actually quite enjoyed.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed every note I had. Like I said, it's the match I took the most notes for. I liked it. It was fine. It was a fine big guy TV match. No complaints. No complaints. After the match, we got oh god, I hated this segment.
You hate everything.
No, I don't hate everything, but I did not. We got Cope and Christian coming out for a face-to-face with FTR. Tony Schiavone's in the ring doing the interview, which is where he should stay. We got security coming out with FTR to try to keep the peace, to not do anything. There was a $500,000 fine if they attack security.
I put my exact note was FTR, who comes out with a dozen or so security guards, who I'm sure will not get into it with anyone.
Yeah, right. Not at all. Never, ever, ever has that happened. It starts out on an annoying note. It's just too much Stokely. This thing has been beaten to death. I'm ready for Stokely to go the fuck away. He's got go away heat with me. So essentially, there was way too much talk about WWE. There's way too many mentions of people that FTR in particular have beaten from WWE. They were going over their like resume and stuff, and FTR didn't come out of this looking strong, which is what my main complaint is. I want this to be a really, really good match because I think it has the capability of being a really good match. But they keep doing it's not going to be a dream match. We're going to end your careers and blah, 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 blah. My favorite part, though, is Christian. Christian was great. He did very little, said very little, but what he did say was funny to me. Go ahead. Was you saying something?
I was laughing because I know what you're going to go with. Go ahead. Keep on.
So, essentially, Edge gets back after they let FTR talk for far too long. And he's like, you think you're great? Well, welcome to the party. We've been there for 25 years, putting over their lineage in the tag team ranks. And essentially hyping himself up.
You're going to get Hope
and Christian.
We created a match that became a pay-per-view.
Yeah, again, a lot of WWE references, which I didn't care for. But I get it. They were there for a long time. But he goes, you're going to get Cope and Christian at the pay-per-view. And Christian grabs the mic and goes, Christian and Cope. And Edge just kind of just befuddled, just stares at him. Eventually, Christian does get a microphone, and he pretty much says, $500,000 is a lot of money. But what do I care? I'm rich. And he starts attacking all the security guys.
Listen, I am pretty sure he accidentally legit caught Dax with a good right hand.
I think his watch hit Dax.
Was it his watch? Something hit him because his nose was bleeding.
Oh yeah, Dax may have a broken nose.
It was.
He either caught him for real with a legit punch, but it looked like his watch was kind of hanging kind of loose.
Right.
But I don't know. Hope Dax is all right. I don't think it'll stop Dax from competing in the match, but uh, all in all, they start beating up. Both teams start beating up security. They're hitting shatter machines and unprettiers and spears, and eventually they clear all those guys out, and then they start attacking each other. FTR builds pretty quickly, probably because Dax got his face smashed in.
Dax just always be catching strays is what happens. Always.
Yeah. He did the other week too on Collision, right?
I remember there was
Wasn't he bleeding there too?
Well, I remember when I roughly around the time I first started watching AEW, there was one of the shows where Dax and Cash had just come back because they were gone for a while. I believe it was either because of everything going on with Cash outside of wrestling, or Cash might have gotten hurt.
Oh, the gun charge thing?
Yeah. Or Cash might have gotten hurt, but they were gone for like a month and a half, right? And I remember they come back, and it's the first time they've been back in a month and a half, and Dax took a hit to the forehead, and it caused him to bleed. It wasn't like a blade thing or anything, like legit busted his fucking head open. And I'm just like, the fuck, dude? You guys just got back.
Maybe he just got paper mache skin.
Apparently. Paper bones.
Nice.
But yeah, it was. So here's the thing. I actually like that they talk about their tenure with WWE, because the one thing I hate most about wrestling is pretending other things don't exist.
Yeah, but they don't actually. They beat around the thing.
Well,
like, if you're gonna say it, just fucking say it.
Well, that's because they're not allowed to just say WWE, right? So, but they still mention all the fucking teams that they wrestled, whether it was WWE, AEW. So I mean,
yeah, you got a Tommaso Ciampa and a Johnny Gargano shout out.
Yeah. So yeah, I at least enjoyed that part of it. But no, I will say, as much as I joked about you not liking anything, I was not the biggest fan of this segment either. Now, I didn't feel like it was because anyone looked strong or didn't look strong or whatever. I don't care about any of that.
So, you know what's weird?
I don't feel... Well,
FTR probably outweighs Christian and Cope by a pretty good amount, but they look so small in comparison to them.
Right.
And I know height and shit don't mean anything, because they're all good workers, but it just looks weird on TV. They could have shot it in a more flattering angle.
But no, my big problem was I feel like it's a segment that by the end of it just didn't need to happen. This segment should have happened like 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
And they should have had something else leading into the pay-per-view.
And they got to have somebody else leading into some of these things other than fucking Stokely.
Yeah, I'm tired of Stokely. Like, I like Stokely as a character, just not with FTR.
Right. We get a backstage interview from earlier. Renee approaches the Bucks. Matt says mentions about being going from rags to riches, and says it's a redemption tour for the Bucks. He gave money to Renee.
Back, baby.
He gave money to Renee from them being jerks to her for the last couple of years, and
$10K.
apparently paid to have a better entrance, which leads into match number 3. We get the Young Bucks versus the Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson. Bucks come out to their their original entrance theme with their original pyro.
Yeah, their EVP music.
There was no goofy shit. They actually had their actual entrance tag thing said the Young Bucks are the best or something along those lines. And yeah, it's back to being the regular old Bucks, which is sad, but I understand.
Oh, it's going to be short-lived.
Bucks get the advantage early, which leads into the break. The Bucks then try to pay off the ref shortly after the break comes back. Austin goes for a quick roll-up. Fuck, dude, I misspelled his name terribly. Austin then finally gets a hot tag because he had been basically cornered had the ring cut off from being able to get over to tag in Juice. But he finally gets the hot tag. Juice comes in, does his thing. Juice almost immediately tags back out though, because that made sense.
Yeah, the commentary even was like, I wouldn't tag him back in. He took quite a bit of abuse.
There were some really fun team sequences involving eventually that he involved. I didn't write it all down because it all happened so quick. But it ended
frantic pace.
It ended with like a Faymaster on the outside of the ring that was actually pretty dope. We get a BTE trigger attempt. Juice ducks and they start to make a comeback. Buck still fight through. Juice gets out of the TK driver because Austin hits a flatliner on the Buck that was jumping in the ring that I thought actually looked really good the way it was played out. Juice ends up hitting the Blade Runner, but they kick out afterwards, and then the Bucks finally hit the TK driver for the win. I was hoping that the Bang Bang Gang would win, but I understand why the Bucks did, because I think they'll be a better team for the ladder match.
Agreed.
So I'm not mad about it. I would have rather seen...
They're a bigger team. They're a bigger name as well.
Right. But no, just me personally, I would have rather seen the Bang Bang Gang get the rub on that. And
yeah, it's sad. The Bang Bang Gang's kind of in purgatory right now.
And it's not even their fucking fault.
No, it's not. It's just whatever push that was potentially going to be coming just got stalled out from injury again, unfortunately. They just cannot catch a break.
We get a vignette for the tailgate brawl, and then if you want to talk about match 4, which actually was a fun match for me.
The Lucha special here. The sloppy Lucha special.
Hey, it was not sloppy until the end. They were actually looking really good early on. And then,
but boy, when it got sloppy, it got real sloppy.
Yeah, it did.
It was fine at first. They started out with lucha and arm drags and stuff. Beast Morta hit a nice tornado dive through the ropes. Dorada also hit a nice little flippy arm drag thing. There was a destroyer on the apron.
In Canada! Sorry.
Yeah, that was repeated. Then they hit another destroyer. There was a lot of destroyers in this match.
It was the third one. It was the third one that was screwed.
Penta and Phoenix. Well, there was an attempted third one that was kind of shite, but what's my spot here? There was a nice little flippy thing where Dorada flipped up onto Beast Morto's shoulder, and he flipped him around into like this driver. It was almost like a reverse DVD driver. That was pretty cool. Yeah. I like Beast Morta. I wish they would do more with him. I was hoping he would have won this match to go to the triple threat.
Me too.
But it's not what happened. After that, it led to quite a bit of sloppy spots. There was a sloppy destroyer. There was a sloppy top rope segment. They eventually got out of that, reset. Shooting star press and pin win for Dorada. Post-match, Okada comes out to look all cocky and stuff with all of his belts. Then Takeshita's music hit. He came down. Okada doesn't like it. He's staring at Okada. It looks like they're about to get in some sort of like face-to-face thing. And Dorada does a dive onto Okada, knocking Okada down. And then just stands up and looks at Tak, and Tak just kind of stands there.
I said Takeshita does a stare down with Dorada, and he gives him this goofy smile and crazy eyes. Look pretty psychotic.
Right. All in all, it would have been a fine match had all the shenanigans at the end not been
sloppy.
Because it was really sloppy.
Yeah, it was.
There's a difference between like maybe missing a little bit of your head scissor or something like that, but this was just complete and utter breakdown.
Yeah, it was.
But 3/4 of the match was fine.
We get an in-ring segment, kind of. Toni Storm comes out, stands on the ramp, and she runs down her list of self-made names that she starts every conversation with. She says she's been champ for 7 months. She's slain beasts, belt collectors, and forever champions, and she's loved every sexually questionable second of it, because AEW is where the best wrestle. And if you're not willing to put it on the line in the ring, then darling, you ain't shit. And now, she risks it all. Hayter comes out and honestly kind of mimics her a little bit. Not to the extent that, but her mannerisms and the way that she speaks, she kind of mimics Toni Storm a little bit.
It could be they're just both English.
That could also be it. But Hayter then says that it's been a long time since it's been just the two of them, but she wants Toni to remember that she doesn't forget. She invited her into this match, and Hayter hits hard. Stat comes out and says she doesn't have a claim to make. She hasn't wrestled for this title in 4 years, but you can't stop Stat. And then Toni says, trim your bushes, bitches, because we're going all out. And at which point, Tekla's music hits, and she comes out, and immediately the refs break up what I guess Toni thought was going to be a fight, but Tekla just walked right by and went to the ring.
Yeah, because we got a match.
And that leads into match 5, no holds barred match, Tekla versus Queen Aminata. I don't have very many notes for this. I pretty much said, these women honestly just kind of beat the hell out of each other. There's weapons everywhere. I said, Aminata did hit a nasty brain buster onto some chairs, though, to Tekla.
Fisherman's buster. It was a fisherman's buster.
I said,
nice.
Tekla wins, grabs the mic for the first time in AEW. She just sounded crazy, so she fits right in. Toni.
Yeah, I did not like this segment. I am liking Tekla less and less.
That's okay.
I
love
wish
her.
she was by herself, so the mystique of her was bigger. But I see her every fucking week in a fucking 8-woman tag match, and I need to see more singles stuff. I'm tired of the triangle of mediocrity.
You leave my triangle alone, sir.
I like each of those women individually.
But yeah, so Toni comes out. Luthez presses her immediately. Jamie and Stat come out and also start to brawl. Sky and Julia come out to help. Yuta comes out and Stat yells at him to leave. Like, he shows up. She's like, what are you doing? Go away. I don't need you.
Tim and Marina Shafir show up.
Toni fights back, and the Triangle escape the ring. Hayter and Toni then start to argue and almost get into it. The refs break them up. And yeah, that was that. I actually thought the match was pretty good, but I like hardcore matches.
Yeah, I know.
So
it was fine for a woman's hardcore match, but I do like that my favorite line for Toni is, "This tramp is still the champ."
Yeah. I liked that Tekla finally got to talk for the first time.
It was incoherent though.
That's because she was screaming, and she's Austrian, so. Austrian or Australian?
If she's Austrian, I mean, she didn't talk like Arnold. Yeah, this match going to be good.
Yeah, Austria.
She's terrible Arnold
Schwarzenegger. She's from Vienna, Austria. So okay. I was right.
Good.
Yeah. I understood her, but it is what it is. But yeah.
Next, we got a very pointless Skyflight Hangman promo where Hangman comes to warn them about the Don Callis family and how, there was no violence in my promo with them, but I don't think you're going to get the same courtesy, so be careful out there. And then Christopher Daniels started talking in his red and white suit, and I tuned it out. Because if you're... It's bad enough you can't talk. It's another thing that you dress so terribly.
I tried to tune him out as well.
Pointless segment. Skyfight was just trying to get over. Well, the Martin brothers in particular were just trying to get over that. Hey, they've been on a kind of a roll since they've been in Skyflight. Not for long, Butters.
I have no clue what the fuck you just tried to say there, but go ahead.
I was trying to say brother, but Butters clicked into my head. I'm tired, dude. I've been up for many hours.
We all botch. We can't give people too much slack or flack.
Huh?
I said we all botch. Can't give too many people too much flack.
Nah. I mean, it wasn't as sloppy as Dorada and Beast, so I guess I'll keep on moving. Reset here. Next match, we got Jet Speed versus the Dinosaur and Kip Sapien.
There is one move in here specifically that the announce team apparently really, really liked, and the crowd was going nuts for, and I fucking missed it. But I'll let you go ahead.
I don't know what move you're talking about. So hopefully you got some context there. Kip immediately tags himself in from Kill Switch, which annoys Kill Switch. This leads to Kip getting smacked around a little bit and then having to tag in the Dinosaur anyways. Let's see. The Dinosaur hits a nice little release powerbomb on Kevin Knight. It is Kevin Knight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, see, I remember people's names. They try so Bailey tries a top rope Hurricanrana onto Kill Switch, and he can't get him over. Knight jumps up and helps, and they do like this double Hurricanrana from the top rope, which was pretty cool.
That is actually probably the move that I was talking about.
Oh, nice. The heels can't get along. They're all dissension amongst them. Slap tag in by Kip Sabian to get himself back in. I can't even read my damn writing. Oh, Kip goes for a roll up and puts his feet on the ropes, and Killswitch knocks his legs off the rope, so he prevents Kip from getting the cheating win. Kip looks at him all crazy, like, what are you doing? The Dinosaur's yelling back at him incoherently. Eventually, Kip is beat down and goes to tag in Killswitch, and Killswitch jumps off the apron, leaving him to get beat up. This leads to Speedball hitting a spinning kick for the win. And, hopefully the damn Dinosaur can go and be on his own and not have to be in this terrible stable with Kip and Nick Wayne.
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
You think Nick Wayne's going to come back and right the ship?
No. I do think Nick Wayne's going to come back before before Killswitch leaves. Here's what I think is going to happen, though. I think it's going to happen in a way where he's going to get shitty. He's going to push Kip Sabian during a match again or something. They're going to lose somewhere. And I think Nick Wayne's going to come out, and it's going to cause an actual fight between the two, right? I think Jack Perry's going to come out and help him. But I don't see it as them being faces. I see them then moving on in a very middle-of-the-road, not quite face, not quite heel tag team. They're not going to be...
Tweeners? They're going to be tweeners?
They're not going to be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They're going to be Jack Perry and Killswitch. And I think honestly is a good route for them to go, because Jack Perry doesn't have shit to do either. And they were a good tag team.
They need they need some tag teams, right?
But on BTE, because that's back, if you didn't know.
It's been back for several weeks. It's been back for a month now.
Apparently, whichever Jackson opened up the letter, because again, I don't know who's who, opened up a letter, and it was from Jack Perry, and it had a knife that he recently showed on Twitter that he made, and the knife was in the letter, and it said, "Here's a knife for the next time you want to stab me in the back." And if I had to guess, I would bet that him and Luchasaurus, which is I'm never going to be able to just call him Killswitch or just Luchasaurus. It's going to always go back and forth. I think the two of them are going to go after the Bucks. At least that's what I would do.
So heel on heel, or you think Bucks are
No, I already told you. I don't think they're going to be heels. I think they're going to be tweeners.
Tweeners is one step away from heel, though.
They're also one step away from face.
Unless they come out to that music with him on his shoulders.
No, that will never happen.
Never say never.
It better not ever happen. I will lose respect for Jack Perry so quick. Anyways,
you want to pick it up, or you want me to keep going?
Nah, you
I
keep going.
I don't have a ton of notes for the final match.
It's not a
Got my
match.
DVR cut out.
We're still not even close to matches. We still got a couple. You can run through the next promo after that match.
So we get a backstage promo with Big Bill. Yeah, this was a filler segment. He's hyping up his match against Eddie Kingston. Although he doesn't think Eddie's going to appear at All Out, he'll believe it when he sees it. Yeah, it was fine.
It was fine, but unnecessary. Eddie Kingston's not there to talk shit back, so I think this was pointless.
Yeah, it loses a lot of luster not having a back and forth. It was just there to remind you that, hey, Big Bill is going to be fighting Eddie Kingston at the pay-per-view.
Yep. Danielson interviews Darby. Darby climbed Everest because he has to keep his word and prove it to himself. Or had to. Not has to. He already did. And apparently also placed the AEW flag on top of the world. He'd never turn his back on family like Mox did. He doesn't know if he's ready for Mox, but he needs Brian to give his word that he won't interfere. Brian gives him his word, but then he tells him he has to promise one thing and then whispers something in Darby's ear. And Darby says, "You have my word." And Darby walks away. All in all, another pointless segment.
Yeah, they're trying to add intrigue to a match that already has a dangerous stipulation. So they're trying to add intrigue that Danielson may be involved one way or the other.
Right.
Honestly, I don't really care.
I don't either.
I know he can't fully be back to seek any revenge, so I don't know. I didn't. It was fine. It got me no more or less excited for the match that I already knew was happening.
Right. Monet is on commentary for the next match. Did you want to take this, and I'll take the last match?
Sure, I'll take Riho versus Renegade, whatever her name is. Jobber lady is what we'll call her. Riho starts the match by drop kicking the Renegade lady through the ropes with her little running drop kick. Dive to the outside. Commercial break where the Renegade lady got a lot of heat on, brief heat on Riho. Riho comes back from the break, eventually gets the upper hand, hits a very weak dragon suplex, and then a crucifix bomb for the win. It was just outside of a squash match. It may as well have been a squash match.
It was Collision after all, technically.
It was that final hour, which would have been Collision stuff. So damn, even when Dynamite's 3 hours, we can't escape Collision booking. Post match, Riho staring down Mercedes, talking smack back and forth. The Renegade lady grabs Riho's leg, distracting her. Mercedes slides into the ring, attacks Riho, knocks her down, stands tall. So yeah, I guess that's supposed to make you care a little more about Riho versus Monet at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't either.
There is a.
If Riho is the one that beats Mercedes,
I'm gonna be so pissed and annoyed.
I'm gonna be so upset. Upset. I don't understand the Riho thing.
There's a Bowens Caster Collision recap for some reason. Backstage, there's some more trash talk between the Death Riders and the Ops and a couple of vignettes. My favorite part thing that came out of this, though, was Samoa Joe said, "Danny, in your quest to become somebody, you might end up a body." And I was like, that's a fun thing to say.
I love Samoa Joe.
So they made it seem like, by the way, that they were accepting a 3-on-3 match, and that is not what was happening there.
No, it's a singles match between Shibata and Garcia. I was confused as well. I was like, "Oh, cool, we're getting a trios match," and then the graphic for the tailgate thing, which is the pre-show stuff, was just Shibata and Garcia 3, and I'm like, I would have rather saw the trios match.
We're also apparently getting, was it Samoa Joe wrestling somebody? Oh no, I want to say I think is it Joe and Hobbs wrestling? We'll get there. Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs for some reason are wrestling against the Workhorsemen, and I was like, that was never even mentioned.
Who the hell are the Workhorsemen?
You'll recognize JD Drake when you see him. He's a big guy.
Okay, I know who it is. Okay, I know who that is.
Um, match 8 is after that, and it's Josh Alexander and Hechicero versus Top Flight with Christopher Daniels. Um, honestly, I didn't take a whole lot of notes for this match because it was honestly just high spot after high spot after high. Like these guys moved quick.
Why do people want to drop Josh Alexander on his head?
Are they really dropping him on his head, or is his head just so big it's hard to not land first?
I maybe it's the headgear that's weighing him down to where he does land on his. But this man's had neck surgeries, and he like constantly is getting just dumped on his noodle, man.
Um, but yeah, it's packed with some high spot tag maneuvers. There was a missed spot that was supposed to be a poison Rana that they had to course correct on because okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Josh Alexander goes to German suplex. I believe it was not Dante, but his brother. I think Dante is the lighter skinned one.
You are correct. Darius is the other.
Darius, and then Darius grabs Dante from behind, so it looks like he's about to hit the double German suplex on both of them.
They did their spot where they did it a couple weeks ago, and it looked really cool. Where Darius vaults Dante up above himself and the opponent, and Dante lands either on the shoulders of the opponent to do the poison Rana,
Right.
or on the other side, they've done it to where they've landed completely behind the other opponent.
Right. But they were going for the poison Rana, and I'm guessing the way it looked was
The orbit of fucking Alexander's head captured Dante midair and brought him in.
Yeah, Alexander moved too far forward, so he slid down the back of Alexander. So they corrected it, and Dante ended up not Dante, but Darius ended up kicking him. And at that point, Dante jumped back up on his shoulders, and they went ahead and did the combination, the kick into poison Rana combination.
Yeah, you could see Josh Alexander talking to them in the ring, and he slightly pushes Darius forward to get the room enough to attempt to do the poison Rana.
Right. But yeah, so that was fun. Hechicero and Josh Alexander end up winning though. Hechicero does his guillotine driver to Dante and gets the pin.
Which is weird because it's just a head scissors driver.
Right. Afterwards, the Don Callis family come out and jump the faces. More faces come out, and the Bucks come out, and there's a huge brawl. Bandito and Brody King eventually come out. So, like, all the tag teams that are involved in the match are out there, as well as the rest of the Don Callis family, as well as actually, I think that's it. Eventually, most everyone brawls to the back, which leaves Lance Archer and Rocky Romero beating up on Christopher Daniels. Thank God, because somebody needed to. And then Hangman comes out to try and stop him because, you know, he loves Christopher Daniels now. I mean, he's the reason that Christopher Daniels is apparently now retired, but he loves him some Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, he beat the dog piss out of Christopher Daniels. That was just a few months ago.
Yeah. And then eventually during all of it, Fletcher comes out. The numbers game catches up. Hangman fights out of it. So they set up a table on the outside, and Fletcher is about to do the teardrop brainbuster. And Hangman gets out of it, clotheslines Fletcher back over the turnbuckle, or back over the ropes into the ring. At that point, Rocky Romero comes up to try and grab his foot. He gets kicked in the face. Lance Archer comes up to grab his foot. He gets kicked in the face. And then all of a sudden, he goes to do the buckshot when he flings himself in. Fletcher already has his TNT title in his hands. So he clocks Hangman, takes him back out onto the apron, hits the teardrop brainbuster through the table on the outside of the ring. He then goes into the ring, holds up both titles, which means he's going to lose.
Well, he wasn't beating Hangman anyways.
Well, I know. But yeah, and that's how the show went off there. It was him celebrating. So
I hope this does what they hope it does, and Fletcher gets some shine off of this. I don't see how him losing is going to do that, though, even though he is going to be losing to the world champion. I know this is a course correction because of all the injuries, but
I just feel like there could have been other people that could have gotten that match.
I agree. I agree. I don't want to see Fletcher lose. I think that kind of stalls him out,
Right.
but we'll get into that when we do predictions.
He is going to have a hell of a match to not come out.
And he will.
Right.
He will. The match will be a banger. I don't see any way it not being a banger. But
All right. Speaking of predictions, we're just going to jump right into it because we're already 45 minutes into this.
nice.
We're going to start with 0 Hour. We got Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, Queen Aminata, and Willow Nightingale versus Megan Bain, Penelope Ford, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue in the 17th 8-woman tornado match. So this one's a tornado tailgate brawl, which I'm guessing just means it's going to be a hardcore match.
Yeah, based on the stuff they showed was a bunch of hardcore stuff.
I am going to pick the faces to win this match.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to write out all the participants. Yeah, I have the faces as well.
I don't think they're going to let the heels take this one at all. Which is a bummer, because I think the heels should win this since it's going to be Tony that ends up winning the women's championship match, but we'll get there. Oh shit, I put those on the wrong line. Let me fix that. Daniel Garcia versus Katsuyori Shibata. Who do you think is going to win?
I got Garcia due to interference.
I think so as well. I just feel like that's the whole point for him getting into the Death Riders is so he can cheat to win.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
I think the only thing that makes sense is for him to start picking up wins.
I also think Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs are going to beat the Workhorsemen. That's it.
Yeah, why would they lose?
And I actually think that's going to be the shortest of those 3 matches.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The good news is those are the only matches for the 0 Hour that I know of. All right. On to the main show. Pizzle, who do you got winning from Cajun Cope versus FTR?
It's Canada. I got Cajun Cope.
I also have Cajun Cope. Because, again, it's FTR. Not FTR. It's Cajun Cope in Canada is what I meant to say. And I don't think FTR loses anything by losing to them.
No, I agree.
Who do you got winning? Actually, this is my turn to pick first. The Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and Goa. I think Ricochet and Goa is going to win. And I think
I agree with you.
I think they're going to win with the worst tag team finisher in the history of wrestling.
I think they're beating MVP.
That's who I think they're beating as well. All right, who do you got winning? Between Mercedes and Riho.
For fuck's sake, Mercedes, hopefully.
Riho. I agree. We're gonna end up having
that Shinmu reference threw me off.
You're welcome.
I can't spell Riho. I almost spelled Rio. Rio.
I am also going to pick Darby Allin winning over Jon Moxley.
I have Mox winning.
Thank God we have something different.
And that's why I picked it.
I was getting worried. The reason I have Darby Allin winning specifically is A, this is supposed to be their blow-off match after however long they've been somewhat feuding. And B, I don't think Darby's ever lost a coffin match. And I think this would be a weird... Well, I mean, if there's ever going to be 1-2 lose, though, I guess this would be the one.
It's going to be the immortal Jon Moxley.
I would like to take a side bet. Mox is going to bleed.
That's not a side bet. That's a guarantee. Dude, it's amazing if he doesn't wake up and is bleeding. The fucking pillow at night busts him open.
Who do you got winning in the Mark Briscoe versus MJF tables and thumbtacks match?
I got MJF.
As do I.
Because what is the point of MJF losing there?
There's not one.
Now, Briscoe is going to inflict quite a bit of payback, but Briscoe losing doesn't hurt him at all.
No, he's already pretty much on the lower card anyways. AEW's Women's World Championship match. I am going with Chris... Stop, I'm kidding. It's Toni Storm. I do think if anybody else does win, it will be Chris Statlander, though. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I got Tony. I don't want to see Tony not win, so...
I think that, honestly... I think...
Stat could win with some Death Rider assistance.
That's why I think it's the... Like I said, I'm putting Toni Storm. However, if anyone else wins, it's going to be Chris, and it's going to be because of the Death Riders. Even with Triangle of Madness help, Tekla's not winning. Jamie Hayter...
It's too early for Tekla to win. I don't want...
Jamie Hayter will probably...
strong enough.
At this point, Jamie Hayter will probably be the one to take the title off of Toni Storm, but it's going to be a one-on-one match, not in a four-way dance.
I agree with that, which is kind of poetic because I believe Toni is the one that took the title off of her when she was hurt and had to leave. So
right.
Hayter has no momentum though, like none.
That's because she keeps disappearing. Like she'll come back.
They're not booking her to wrestle matches.
She's come back
all these segments, but she's not wrestling any matches.
It's not even just that though. Like she came back from her injury at what was it, All In or some shit last year, right? Because she's the one that.
I don't think she's been back a whole year.
It has. It was last year's All In because it was after Saraya. Whatever. She didn't have a match that year, and she came out and was trying to celebrate with her hometown, and that's when Hayter came back from her injury because she came out and beat up her whole fucking family.
Yeah, this ain't been it.
But like she comes back, she does some things for a couple weeks, and then she just disappears. And to my understanding, it's not because she's injured; she just disappears, and then she'll come back, and then she'll disappear. And then she'll come back.
That's booking.
And yeah, she's been booked like shit.
The most interesting thing that she's done is that little backstage dust up with Tekla.
Yep. All right, who do you got winning in the AEW Unified Championship match? Kazuchika Okada, Konosuke Takeshita, or Mascara Dorada? That was a fun fucking trio of names to say.
I have Okada. Because I think Don Callis betrays Tak. And I think if Tak is going to win the title, it's going to be a one-on-one with him and Okada.
I am going to pick Konosuke Takeshita. I think he's going to pin Mascara Dorada for it.
Yeah, you think that further seeds discontent between him and Okada?
Yep, and I think Takeshita's going to take that title into his IWGP World Championship match and become a double company champ. Big Bill versus Eddie Kingston. I've got Eddie Kingston because he's not going to come back and lose to Bill.
Agreed. That would be a pretty shitty reason to get off the couch and come back to work.
Yeah, it would. All right, because apparently all the ones you get to pick first are always the multi-fucking thing matches. Pizzle.
Nice.
Who do you got winning? Brodito, which is Brody King and Bandito, versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Don Callis family, which is Hechicero and Josh Alexander, in a 4-way ladder match.
This is probably the toughest one to pick.
I am typing in who I think is going to win real quick because
I'm going to go with...
All right.
I'm going to go with a Brodito in them.
Okay.
But I am not strong on that. I can see a scenario where the Bucks win for some reason because they're back. But I think this blows up in their face, and I think we further get them sliding back down.
I do think Brodito is also going to win. However, I think 3 teams could win here, and I think any one of these teams could win, realistically, right?
I don't think Jet Speeds can win.
Because, so here's the thing. I think if Jet Speed was to win the titles, it would be in a scenario like this. I don't think they're going to beat anybody 2-on-2. I feel like Don Callis family could win, not because I think Hechicero and Josh Alexander are great. Josh Alexander is great. But I could definitely see them winning the tag titles because they're going to lose the Unified Championship. So it would bring titles back in where other titles are going out.
Technically, they won't lose the Okada's title because Tak is still in the group.
Yeah.
At least for now.
However, most likely, if anyone's going to win that's not Brodito, it's going to be the Bucks because it's the Bucks. And, but I don't think Brodito has had the titles long enough for me to feel comfortable picking against them.
Well, the thing about their tag team division is it's kind of just aimless right now.
Right.
And Brodito and them are kind of some aimless champions. And until it gets direction, I don't feel confident taking the titles off and putting them on anybody else. Because why?
The only thing...
What's the point now?
The only thing that I could think of and why the Bucks would be a legitimate chance to win is because Cage and Cope are going to beat FTR, which is going to put them into a probably title contention. And I feel like it would make more sense for them to wrestle the Bucks than anybody else here.
Oh God, I don't want to see that match. They make FTR look tiny. They're going to make the Bucks look like children.
Correct. But we're in a situation where that's faces and heels. It's two legendary tag teams, just like them and FTR are.
FTRR.
But again, I think Brodito is going to win it. But I do feel like if anybody is going to win it that's not Brodito, it will be the Bucks, most likely.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, looks like I get to pick the Hangman Kyle Fletcher match. Guess what? I'm going
Even
Kyle.
though we've already pretty much agreed.
I'm going Kyle Fletcher for the shits and giggles. I'm kidding. Adam Page. This is honestly, if I had 10 points, like if we were doing fucking.
This is your lock of the night.
This is my lock of the night. There is no way Kyle Fletcher wins this match. It would be dumb to take the title off of Hangman Adam Page this quickly. Barring an injury, of course. I do think someone is going to interfere. I don't think they're going to get caught, so Kyle's not going to get his title stripped from him.
Title.
But I also don't think whoever it is that interferes is currently with the Don Callis family.
It's going to be Adam Cole.
That would be hilarious, but probably not. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. So we got what, 3 differing opinions? The Mox Darby match, the Tak Okada and Dorada.
I think it's just the Darby Mox.
Or is it just the 2?
Darby Mox, and then Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. It's just 2.
Nice. So 2. So we could tie. Great.
We could, and actually probably will.
So what are we? You won the first one.
We're currently tied.
Huh?
We're currently tied.
Oh, is it still 1-1?
Or no, I think you're up 2-1.
Yeah.
You're up 2-1.
Because I won 2 in a row. I won an AEW and a WWE one back to back. Because I won All Out and then SummerSlam? Yeah, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is we got to do this for WrestlePalooza.
We do. But when we do that, we're not going to be covering SmackDown at all. It's just going to be
yeah, why? We'll just do a prediction thing.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't remember, and it's not that we don't want to cover SmackDown. I got plans Friday night. And with all of the wrestling being on Saturday, we're not going to have time in between the plans that I'm doing for me to get home, watch SmackDown, and then cover all of it. Like, I'm going to basically walk in this door and be like, hey, Joe, I'm ready. And it'll. Now, the good news is, so we've got fast passes. We did get fast passes for 100 houses. So we're not going to be there for fucking 4 hours. Not going to happen. But yeah, that is, like I said, the plan is to get out of the haunted house, come home, put together the prediction checklist, as long as wrestling's not still on by the time I get home. And yeah.
Well, if wrestling is still on when you get home, I won't be home yet, so that won't matter.
Correct.
Because I won't get home until SmackDown is over.
Are they also going to come on at 7, like Raw is?
I don't.
I don't think so, because I don't
think so.
I don't think there's football Friday nights. But yeah, we'll see if we get our first tie though. This is all out. This is shave your bushes. We're going all out, guys.
This tramp is still the champ.
I love Toni Storm.
At least she better be after this match.
I wish she would stop saying all that shit at the very beginning all the time, though. Like, it was funny when it was just, like, one phrase, but now it's all 5 phrases every time to start off. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. A little too gimmicky.
But alright, guys. That's it. We love y'all. We'll talk to you Friday for our WrestlePalooza predictions. And we will see you then. Deuces.
Later.